Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update.
My advice to all aspirants would be, don't have a mental block of what is your strength or what is your weakness. It's good to have that, a clear demarcation, but also be very flexible in your exam. Hi everyone, I am Anushri Naik. I had interview calls from IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Lucknow, Indore, Kozhikode, and the new and baby IIMs.
Hello everyone, I am Isha Nisar. So I got a call from all the IIMs, which includes 20 IIMs, and I was able to convert IIM Ahmedabad, Lucknow, Indore.
My interest towards MBA strengthened when I started working in a corporate, and I started realizing that finance is not just the only function, but even other functions are interrelated. So there is a huge requirement to understand the entire managerial working of an organization.
So I started my journey of MBA since my 11th standard when I dreamt of IIM Ahmedabad. So when I came to know about MBA and IIM Ahmedabad, I knew this was the exact course that I was looking for. That because I wanted to do an MBA, I took BMS, the management course, in my graduation also. So how I prepared for verbal was, first thing I noted down my reading speed. Like it was around 400 500 words per minute, which is also the average reading speed. I started improving on it. The second thing I learned was to eliminate the options in RC rather than selecting it, which boosted my score. Third was my focus on verbal ability part, on how to strategize and how to take my best in the verbal ability section, like the out of context summary, so that I can maximize my score.
The thing with me was, I am not a reader. So I decided that if reading is not my cup of tea, I'll at least solve a minimum of 6 RCs every single day, so that I get into a hang of reading, as well as I understand the type of passages that are asked in exam. For vocabulary, I referred a book called as Word Power Made Easy, which I think is the ultimate guide to building a good vocabulary. My strategy in VARC section was to attempt the easiest RCs first. I realized that I had a better grip on passages, so I aimed at attempting all passages. Of course, not having a mental block of not attempting verbal ability, but my strength were passages, so I did that in the exam first. That is how I prepared.
Being a commerce student and a management student, I was accustomed to read many pie charts and bar charts and other things. So that became like a thing which comes naturally to me. Logic was something I really loved, but still when I analyzed, my scores were higher on the data interpretation side than logical reasoning. So my first thing would be to go to data interpretation and then come back to logic.
So my basic strategy was attempting a lot of practicing a lot of questions. One mistake that I think I did was I did not analyze my mocks very well. So I would recommend all CAT aspirants to analyze their mock tests very well. Even if you get the answer to a particular set, don't be happy with your particular solution. Try to find out if there are solutions that take a little less time than what you have taken to attempt that question.
Coming to quant section, I have always been a math lover. So for me, it was not like learning a particular formula, but going in the depth to understand how was the formula derived actually. So even when in a situation I'm not able to remember any formula, I knew I could go back to derive that particular formula in the worst come scenario.
So my strategy for quant section was to build up a good hold on mental maths, because I realized in the initial mock test that my speed was a little slow at solving sums. So my motive was to increase the accuracy and increase the speed eventually through all the mock tests. So I started writing tables, squares, cubes, prime numbers, and started remembering important formulas so that my speed for attempting sums increases. My aim was to solve a few sums, the bare minimum required to clear cutoffs, but to solve them with a 90 or a 80 or 100% accuracy, so that whenever I attempt, that particular sum is correct and I don't get negative marking.
For selecting any particular mock test series, the first thing would be how close is it to the CAT? Okay, and is it on the same level of CAT? Is the interface similar to CAT? The second thing that I was looking for was, are there any variations which were given to me? So there are 27 combinations that can happen in a CAT. So are these classes able to provide me with these variations or not? The third thing was number of students. So the more the number of students are there in that test series, the more accurate I will be getting my percentile with respect to the actual CAT. So those were the 2-3 things that I was looking for before selecting any test series.
I think more important than choosing a mock test is that you take it regularly and analyze it very well after the mock is done. While you don't have to get dejected while looking at the scores, but you also have to maintain your particular target of scoring higher in each further mock test that you take.
I particularly analyzed my mock was I had made like an Excel sheet of different worksheets. So the first thing would be an overall analysis wherein I would be comparing test versus test of how many attempts I've made versus the correct versus the wrong versus the accuracy and percentile score. So going deep down into particular section, how would I do is I would kind of go deep down. For example, if it is RC, so in RC, which genre it is particularly, what type of question is it? Is it inference? Is it direct type? Is it tone? Which particular type of question is it? The thing would be, then I would ask myself whether I attempted it or not, and why did I particularly attempt or why did I not attempt? Is it because I am kind of familiar with it, or is it because I had enough time to solve it basically? Then I would ask myself whether I did correct or not, and why did I get it correct? So there were a few times wherein I would just try a fluke guesswork, and that came out to be right. So I would actually write down on my Excel sheet that my fluke guesswork turned out to be right. Or maybe my elimination method was right. Maybe my answer was right, but my thinking, my logic was apparently wrong. So I kind of mentioned about that. So this is basically, I tried to analyze, and after every mock, I would work out on those weakness and ensure that those things come correct in my next mock.
For me, particularly, analyzing tests helped me in the quant section, because when there was an analysis of how much time other students have spent on a particular sum, or a particular geometry sum, or an algebra sum, I understood that I was lagging majorly in my speed, which is why I couldn't even attempt 50% of the questions. Benchmarking my time speed with somebody others in the mock test analysis would help me understand that though my answer was correct, I had to improve my speed. I did a reverse preparation strategy. So I used to analyze my mock tests first. I used to then find out which are the chapters I am not really acquainted with, or which I am not really sure about, and then I used to go to my preparation strategy. I used to read those chapters and revise those chapters again. In a CAT exam, if your speed is slow, it becomes extremely important to pick the right questions. So analyzing tests also helped me realize which questions I had to pick first and then leave the ones which are difficult.
So on the CAT day, what worked out well for me was that I took mocks initially in a different environment. So a chilled environment on the day of CAT did not hamper my entire preparation. Second thing, the difficult verbal ability section did not hamper my other two sections, because honestly, I did not understand the level of difficulty of verbal that it could impact my DLR and quants. Third thing that I learned, the mantra that I usually say is flirt and go, don't be in a serious relationship, worked out well for me in DILR section, wherein I did not get stumbled upon one particular set, but moved on really fast. And in quants, particularly my less usage of pen and paper, which saved a lot of seconds, quite helped me out in my actual CAT.
My on-day CAT preparation strategy was a little different from what I had been doing all my life. So CA exams are such that I ended up studying till the very last moment. But for CAT, I had to unlearn my earlier strategy of CA exams and learn a new strategy that I had learned from a lot of seniors, a lot of co-aspirants and friends. My advice to all aspirants would be, don't have a mental block of what is your strength or what is your weakness. it's good to have that, a clear demarcation, but also be very flexible in your exam. If something is easy, please try to attempt it, and if something is difficult, have the courage to leave it and go on further. So my special advices or tips to CAT aspirants right now, one is stop worrying about your scores a lot. Just keep going.
CAT is not about concepts. It is more about the application of concepts that you've been learning. So that is the reason that the 10th standard quant sum becomes difficult for us right now, because we've just learned the concepts, but the application part was a bit missing.
Talk to a lot of seniors, take advices from your mentors, but also after all of this, try and form your own strategy.
Even if you're maintaining many of your books, like the formula books, the shortcut books, or some interesting some books, it is very important that you remember things in your mind also, because the only thing that you can take in your examination is your brain and not the books.
Train your mind in such a way that always when you take a mock test, you take it as the real exam.
Take mocks in extreme situations, and maybe travel a bit here and there, because the center may come here and there. Right from the CAT till your interview is over, and maybe even the MBA, because there would be a lot of people who would give up on CAT, who would give up on their interviews and all of those things, and they would try to demotivate you also. But not listening to them, but listening to your heart, and keep on going on to achieve your dream would really help you out.